Hello, check one. All right, hey everybody. My name is Joe. It is day 3 of my Draw Muhammad every day challenge for myself. Uh, get things out of the way. I just got off of work. I'm relaxed. This is not a pro socialism shirt. It's my Steven Crowder Socialism is for Fig shirt. I am in the process of drawing my third Muhammad for the day, for the year. And the things I want to talk about very simply is the First Amendment in the United States, as I am an American. I hope you can tell, um, and what it means for me in the simplest aspect. I don't want to go on too long, but the First Amendment reads as follows: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right of people to peacefully assemble, petition the government for the redress of grievances. So, specifically for me, I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and I was an actor. That was my fundamental claim to fame when I was growing up. I love to act. I've always loved to act. That's my one outlet for art that I always felt comfortable being in. I never felt that I was out of place acting, and I actually went to school for it in 2010. After I went to one university, I moved to another. I in no way, shape, or form would recommend going to school for acting again. You can do it without any training. I can tell I've done some movies, I've done some TV, I've done countless theater productions. I still do it to this day. I am not in any way, shape, or form downplaying the people who go to a conservatory, but I'm simply telling you, you do not need to do it. And as somebody who grew up in the arts, acting wise, I always love freedom of speech. The concept of fuck you, I say what I want. The idea of I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. I'm going to, you know, say things that are unsayable to other people. I'm going to attempt to, how would I say this? Uh, I always thought freedom of speech was the most important concept of being an American. I love dissonance. I love the idea of saying fuck you to the system. Um, and when I went off to college and I was in a theater program where I was doing a lot of acting, I always thought that that was what most people believed as well. I always thought that the majority of people in the acting world were pro free speech above all things. And I learned very quickly that's not the case. There are so many people who, at the end of the day, they would rather give up their freedom of speech not to offend, because it became a a world in which scoring political points is the most important thing about acting, which blew my mind and something I never would have conceived of when I originally started going to school. Anyway, like I said, I've done movies, I've done TV, I've always thought freedom of speech, but it wasn't until about 2016 or a little later that I genuinely found myself unable to communicate with the world around me. And I think it was Locke who said that the concept of freedom of speech is less to do with the government and more to do with the culture and the world in which people find themselves. And I can tell you right now, for me, the culture around freedom of speech in 2015 to 2016 to 2017 and onward has astronomically different from wherever I started out at. I do not believe that I would be where I'm at unless I had a strong will, and my mother and my father were not adamantly pro freedom of speech in every capacity. My dad makes the most offensive jokes in the world. My mother is a firefighter and she's a badass about it. I do not care about the sensibilities of other people when it comes to my speech. Um, Interpersonal relationships are different, but I I will always give an interpersonal relationship leeway and like but that's because I know somebody. The concept of changing what I believe or how I speak for somebody I've never met, or a concept of somebody I've never met. Someone's like, you shouldn't say that because it would offend somebody. Never crossed my mind, ever. I still don't truly understand the idea. Sorry, I'm really bad at drawing ears. I'm actually trying with this one today. Like, not in a good way, but like in a way that I would feel comfortable. Oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I drew like a leaf. As somebody with a big nose, I'm more inclined to draw people with big noses. So, what I wanted to speak to today is the idea that America is a fundamentally different place than most other places that practice freedom of speech. And if you are an American and you are watching this, that is the line in the sand. Do not ever let hate speech laws into our country. Do not ever capitulate to the idea that the mob should control what can be said, what should be said, what religions or what practices should be allowed. Like, we have to draw a line somewhere, and what's it, Picard is like, here, the line must be drawn here, no further. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm writing the Prophet Muhammad right now. Like I said, I'm a horrible speller in my first name. So I talked a little bit about myself and why freedom of speech sticks out to me, but I'll go into different stories as I get further into my belief structure. And sorry, I'm adding details. I'll go into stories that speak to me specifically about like court cases that I know of, moments that I think are important for people to recognize with freedom of speech, and where to go from there. So, number 3, here we go. I actually tried. I did better than I think I would have otherwise. So, the Prophet Muhammad, day 3. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that one. Definitely, obviously better than a stick figure and a smiley face, but I want to get less cartoony and try and get realistic as I go on. But we'll see as we go. Defend your freedom of speech in every capacity. I'm gonna try and get so much better at these videos. I'm sorry, it's different for me. I'm not used to this. So there's that. Socialism is for figs, as Steven Crowder would say. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.